The beetroot are looking like this, and they are definitely ready to plant out as soon as we've hardened them off. I'm starting to see some good roots in the bottom, so hopefully they will come out of the cell tray altogether. Yep. So that's the golden beetroot, and let's have a look at one of the red beets. Yeah, they're perfect. They're not too root bound. We don't want to let them go on too long because that can cause them issues and sort of stunt their growth a little bit as well. These have been grown outside under cover their entire life so far. However, we do want to make sure that we do harden them off still. This should only take a couple of days because they have already experienced a lot of the colder weather and they are hardier plants. So if you haven't done so already, you just want to start taking them outside during the day and get them used to the wind, the rain and the full sun that they may not have been completely exposed to under cover. After day sort of 3 or 4, then just leave them out overnight and then we'll be ready to plant them out into the garden. So when we first sowed these, we did talk about them being a multi-germ seed, meaning that more than one beetroot plant will be produced by each of the seeds. I only sowed 2, I believe, seeds per cell, but the majority of them have much more than 2 that are actually growing. So we just want to go through them and make sure that if there's no more than 4, I think is adequate. But if you have more soil that is struggling a little bit, then I would go down to 3. If you do want to leave them all in, then you can just thin them out as they do produce little baby beetroot. And then to do this, you're just going to sort of go through them, check which ones are stronger, so the thicker stems, and remove any that are weaker. So pretty much all of those are pretty strong, and just pull out any that you want to remove. And don't forget that we can take these inside and eat those as microgreens as well, so we don't need to let them go to waste. Okay, that's a maximum now of 4 plants per cell, and then I've got a couple with 1, but we can just plant them a little bit closer together. Mine are going to go in this bed here because it doesn't have too much else that's going to be overly tall around it. I do have a couple of weeds I just need to sort out. I've given it a good water because actually it's really quite dry, and then I've spaced them out to around a foot. They are a little bit closer together, but I'm just running out of room, so I'm going to put the end ones quite far out into the path actually, and then we're just going to make a hole and pop them in, and then we're just going to give them a really good watering. For the seedlings that I've got left, I'm actually going to plant these amongst my garlic because the garlic will come out before these are using much of the space and they shouldn't overshadow them too much. I've just ran out of any other outdoor beds basically. So now these are planted out, we are going to keep them quite well watered over the next sort of 2 weeks to make sure that they're really well bedded in, and then after that we really want the roots to be encouraged to be drawn down themselves. So unless it's really dry, then I won't usually be offering them water, and if I do, if it's really warm, then it'll be a deep water about once a week. I feed my soil, so I'm not going to be looking at feeding these, but if you do want to feed them, because they are a plant that we don't want to encourage to go to seed, then you'd be looking at something like a seaweed feed or a nettle feed would be great as well. If you have plenty of room and you want to get the next succession sown, then now is a great time to do that. I'm not going to be doing any quite yet just because I don't have any space for them to go into, but it will give you plenty of younger beetroot to continue picking throughout the summer. If you are interested in the varieties that we are using, then just comment newsletter and I'll send you all the information over for that, as well as the discount code for Tamar Organics. The next time that we will be looking at these now is when we're looking at starting to harvest the first of them, but if you do have any issues or any concerns, then please do let me know.